Have a motion to open the meeting, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I have no chairman's comments this evening. Item number 2, 1530 Estates Subdivision, Lot 1, Form G lot release.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. There was a memo that I sent you and a copy. Essentially, in 2019, the planning board released lot number 1, and it was signed by the planning board at that time, and it was never recorded. I'm going to, in my 30-some-odd year career, this happens all the time. And I think they're trying to clean up the title and deal with it, so the attorney called me. We could not find an original, so what I'm requesting is the board vote to release lot number 1, and you can see, I spoke with the city engineer, and nothing's changed. So it's kind of reaffirming what the board did in 2019, and then I have the original lot release, and I will make sure that attorney gets it, and he needs to record it.
I'm going to say, I signed it already. Huh? Signed it already.
I know. So that's what I'm recommending, that the board vote to release lot number 1.
So can I have a motion to that effect? I need a motion first.
So made.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
We're in favor of releasing lot 1.
Okay. And we'll just have we'll do the
Sign it
signatures at the end of the meeting?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 2, continued public hearing will be held on the petition of applicant and owner PVG5 LLC, 164 Washington Street, Plainville, Mass. 02762, and represented by Barry R. Crimmins Esquire, law offices of Barry R. Crimmins, PC 909 Washington Street, Stoughton. The site plan approval under section 10.6 for the construction of a 5-story, 90-room hotel addition on the property located at 445 and 449 Page Street. Further identified in Assessors Plan number 95, Lot 36, located in the Industrial Zoning District, and any other relief that may be required thereto. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Board. For the record, Attorney Barry R. Crimmins of 909 Washington Street in Stoughton, here on behalf of the applicant, PVG5 LLC of 164 Washington Street in Plainville. As the Chairman indicated, this is a continued hearing from last month regarding our application for site plan approval for the redevelopment of the Hampton Inn Hotel and Suites at 445-449 Page Street in Stoughton. Board will recall we were here, or I guess technically we were across the street at the police station last month to review the revisions that had been made to the plan. At that time, the board asked us to make a couple other minor revisions relative to landscaping and relative to the entrance drives. Along with me tonight is Mr. Brian Dunn of MBL Land Development. So I'd like to ask Brian to briefly explain to the board the changes that were made. I will just mention that those revised plans were submitted on April 12th. It's my understanding from discussions with the town planner that those revisions, those revised plans were reviewed by both the planner and Mr. Horsfall, the assistant town engineer. It's my understanding that they were satisfied with those revisions, and I think the members are aware that the planner has prepared a draft decision for the board's consideration tonight. But if I may, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to call upon Brian to just briefly go over those changes that were made since that last meeting.
Thank you, Barry. Mr. Chairman, my name is Brian Dunn. I'm with a principal with MBL Land Development and Permitting with offices at 5 Bristol Drive in southeastern Massachusetts. Last time we were here, we discussed the entrance to the south of the property to be minimized. We reduced by 4 feet. We kept it at 20 feet, which is the minimum fire lane width in the state of Massachusetts. We're removing the stop line and stop bar area of text in the sign, putting in do not enter signs as well, and one-way pavement markings in that area. We also updated the landscaping plan as requested and removed the euonymus types of planting. We also added the color images of the plants that are proposed and also showed the entire site and the landscaping plan of the entire site so that the boards, members of the board could see the entire property. That was one of the other requests. Then one of the items that we were discussing at the last meeting and other meetings before was a waiver on the number of compact spaces. We no longer need that waiver of above 30%. We are below the 30% threshold. So the only waiver that we're asking for this evening as part of this site plan approval is a reduction from 190 parking spaces to 177 spaces. So we did provide, well, I think we can provide, we already provided the recording information of the O&M plan. I know that was one of the things that Mr. Roth had spelled out in the draft decision. If the board goes along with it, with this application and approves it, we'll plan on re-recording that same O&M, so it's not only attached to the front hotel, but attached to the back hotel, Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, do we have any record that the O&Ms have been maintained since the building has been built?
Yes, if I may, Mr. Chairman, we did provide that information that the drainage system and the grease trap had been cleaned out. We showed record of that information and sent that along.
Okay. Yeah.
All set, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
That's it?
That's it. Simple, short and sweet.
Just want to review one other thing. Just want to review one other thing. Does anybody from the board have any other questions?
No, I was looking through the drawings to see that they were updated, so it looks good.
Did Craig have any other comments on the drawings?
No, Mr. Chairman, the revised plans addressed all of the requirements, and we're recommending approval of the site plan should the board grant the waiver on the parking. So, and with you is a draft decision.
I'm looking at that now, yeah. Okay. The waivers are part of a special permit, or are they just regular waivers? The way this is being worded, I don't see special permit. They are special permit waivers, so they have to be taken as a separate vote.
Correct. Item within the approval,
Right.
there is a waiver. The applicant, it was a special permit waiver.
Special permit waiver for the spaces, so I want to take that as, I'm sorry, is there anybody from the public here who wants any comments? Okay, don't see any. I'd like to be able to take a motion on the special permit pursuant to the provisions of sections 10.6.8 and 10.6.10 to not provide the development impact report as one vote, and then we'll take as a second vote section 6.1.67 to reduce the parking permit requirement from 190 required space to 177 spaces. And I have a motion on the first one.
Motion to, I'm lost for words here. Do not have to provide the development impact report.
Do I have a second? Any comments, any motion? Can I have a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
I am also, okay? On the second special permit? I have a motion on second special permit.
I'll make a motion to approve the reduction in parking from 190 to 177 spaces.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
And then, lastly, we need a motion to accept the drawings of the site plan review per the order of conditions that's been put before us.
So made.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You guys are all set? Item number 4, continued public hearing will be held on the petition of applicant Lewis Assisted Living LLC and owner Yolanda Lewis, 36 Linda Drive, Waltham, Mass. 02451, represented by Terrence Morris, Esquire, 57 Elm Street, Newton, Mass. 02460, for site plan approval under Section 10.6, site plan approval of the Town of Stoughton zoning bylaws for proposed building renovation to create a 13-bed assisted living facility and the construction of 16 parking spaces to be located at 239 Pleasant Street, Assessors Map 067, Lot 301, in RU Residential Urban Zoning District. Can I have the applicant or representative here?
No, they're not.
Mr. Chairman, they have...
I'm sorry, I do see they've asked for...
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, they have asked for continuance and has submitted a continuance waiver request. We went back and forth on the date based on the thing, and so therefore they're requesting a continuance to May 25th Planning Board meeting.
Anybody have any objections? We'll accept the continuance.
You don't vote on it?
You know what, we will, just to get it certified.
Because it's to schedule, to continue the hearing to May 25th.
I'm sorry. Well, can I have a motion? So made. Second? All in favor to continue the hearing to May 25th?
Aye.
You're all set, Bill. Thank you. Item number 5, continued public hearing to be held on the petition of applicant A.A. Will Materials Corp., 198 Washington Street, Stoughton, Mass. 02072, represented by attorney Francis Crimmins, Jr., A.B. Initio Aldo Law Solutions, Washington Street, Unit 2, Stoughton, Mass., for site plan approval under Sections 10.6 for the change of use, including addition of relocation of 5 or more parking spaces, grading and paving of retail landscape display area, material storage and parking areas with required drainage systems at the property identified as 214 Washington Street, further identified in the Assessors Plan number 57, Lot 112, located in the General Business Zoning District, and any other relief that may be required relative thereto. Can I have the applicant and/or representatives come up, please? You're on.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the planning board, Mr. Roth. Continued hearing from March 23rd, you know, regarding the site plan for 214 Washington Street. Thank you. site plan approval for 214 Washington Street. And there were some questions that the board had at the conclusion of that hearing, excuse me, and it was continued for this evening. There were some revisions requested. We got those in by the request to have them in by April 11th. They were received by Ms. O'Brien, Craig Horsfall, Mr. Roth have had a chance to review those plans. It's my understanding they've been satisfied with that. We're here before the board for any questions. This is to my far right, your left, Mr. Frank Will, the president of AA Will Materials Corp. And seated to my immediate right is Mr. Ron Tiberi, professional engineer, who's the engineer for the project. We're ready to respond to any questions that the chair may have. And if I could, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Tiberi.
Please.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Ron, maybe you get that mic there. Yeah, thanks.
Good evening. We made all the corrections pretty much as far as what Greg had asked for at the last hearing, including moving the paving back, delineating the retail areas, some adjustments in the landscaping. We eliminated, I think one of the biggest items was eliminating the wall and going to a fence, which we originally called for a 7-foot fence, but we're going to amend that to a 6-foot fence
This is a long,
along U-Haul. We extended the handicap walkway out towards the existing building on the abutting parcel. We've made some adjustments on the paving. And what else did he look for? A number of technical little things like benchmarks, some spot grades, some edits to the drainage reports, things of that nature. That was all addressed. Some additional details were added for paving and the handicap signage, the detail on the signage on the handicap parking areas as well. We also amended the O&M plan to incorporate some of the site issues like fencing, paving, planting, such as those items. So,
and it includes the O&M, obviously includes the drainage and
Yeah.
that type of stuff that's on
Yeah.
the site. Okay. So you eliminated the wall over there completely and just using a 7-foot vinyl fence?
right.
Okay.
A 6-foot, he's saying.
I'm sorry, I'm reading, he's changing it to 6-foot, correct. Do you still have a wall along Washington Street?
We do not have a wall along Washington Street.
It's
The
proposed
dashed
by the
wall is the
state.
proposed wall based on MassDOT's proposed plans. So,
Is that because they're going to lower the grade out there? Is that what the idea is?
yeah, they're going to, well, the grade from Washington Street goes up into the property.
Right.
And since they are adding a lane and a bike path and a sidewalk, they cut into that slope relatively significantly. And they're going to add a wall all the way across 214 and including 198.
Okay. Does Craig have anything else, any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, Craig and myself, we reviewed everything. Craig provided a technical review memo, and really were 2 items. One, they were proposing a 7-foot fence, and we really didn't understand why. We felt that either we're going to do a 6-foot fence or an 8-foot fence. I guess they do make 7-foot fences. We're still recommending a 6-foot vinyl fence, and the way they have it located, it's strictly screening the materials area, so we don't have to worry about it stepping down.
See that.
So that is good. Craig, in his review memo, said they needed a new O&M plan. The original, the decision that you have has prior to that needs to be submitted, but that's actually been submitted. So I've revised the decision, and the only really special condition would be that they need to, prior to issuance of the building permit, they need to revise the plan to indicate the 6-foot fence, and that's pretty minor to do. So therefore, we're recommending that approval subject to the conditions that you have, and it would be the general conditions, and then there are 8 special conditions. We took the O&M condition out because they actually have submitted the O&M plan to us. And you may have the revised
I do.
Decision.
Yeah, it's 8, there's 8 items on.
8 items,
Right.
then you have the revised decision.
Anybody in the board have any comments?
I got a couple.
Okay.
The traffic flow, is that just an entrance, and then people are going to
So-
exit out
It'd be a one-way in,
one way in?
yeah,
And everybody exits through that?
through
What your existing
the
setup?
existing side,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Are you still going to allow parking of trucks and stuff like that on the existing side, where you have the parking right now,
That little area.
in your gravel driveway?
I think so.
You're going to still allow contractors and with their dump trucks and
Oh,
stuff?
absolutely. That's what we're trying to do, is keep the contractors over on the existing property and keep the retail homeowners over
Right,
in
but
this.
again, my concern was, and I think the board, we looked at that, was that the concern of people walking from the display area over to your shop there.
Right.
And with those dump trucks and stuff parked in those spots, it makes kind of like a, I don't think a real safe situation for pedestrian crossing, et cetera. So I didn't know if there was something else that, I hate to throw the wrench in this right now, but if there was some other things that you could improve upon to make it a safer area for pedestrians, because you're going to attract the homeowners and stuff, and probably with their kids and stuff, and they'll be coming over across that way. And I know, I come over AA Will a lot, so very familiar with it, and it just seems a little bit congested in that area as far as mixing residential customers and contractors, et cetera. I didn't know if there was something.
Well, we're going to have, based on the board's recommendation, that area, that we're going to have that existing walkway designated and paved and colorized, if you will.
Right.
So it'd be
Yeah, I fully
called out.
understand
Yeah.
what you're doing, but again, my personal view on this is that, you get big trucks and, people don't see you coming, from behind a truck. And I know that a lot of the contractors do park right in that gravel area there, so just a,
You're talking about, Paul, you're talking about up front here where it says existing gravel parking? Is that what you're concerned
yeah,
about?
so in the existing area,
Trucks
if you go there now, they park up against the new piece of property.
Right, they park there in order that they can go to the store.
Yes, and then people are going to be over here parking and walking across that. I'm just, like I said, I mean, that's my personal opinion on this, is, that with contractors parking right there, it just kind of,
So what would you looking for? Have no parking in that area?
maybe no parking, or again, maybe more smaller trucks, no dump trucks and et cetera like that. I don't know.
Well, that parking area is not, we're not talking 10-wheelers there.
No, I know, you're talking the standard dump trucks,
Just the
four-yard dump trucks.
small six-wheel type stuff, yeah.
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 I'm just, I know you've got other areas there where maybe you could direct a little bit more parking up against your display area, your storage areas now. I mean, if you pushed it back a little, I'm just making suggestions here for you,
You limit that existing
I
parking.
do like the
to
fact that
pickup
it's
trucks.
one way in, and then everybody exits on that other spot.
I guess one of the options we could probably consider is limiting that area there just strictly to pickup trucks.
Right.
And designate it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You made a mistake on your planting layout.
I made a mistake on the planting note?
Yeah.
That's not surprising, but okay.
You called let me see, your strongbox inkberry.
Yeah,
That's not an inkberry.
it's not an inkberry. Well, I have a bone to pick with our landscape architect, frankly. What's the correct term?
I'm not sure exactly what that plant is.
I will,
Could that be the common 9-bark? Inkberries don't have floral like that.
this one here. I'll find out from the landscape architect. I'll be honest, that's where I got it from. So the inkberry's got to be corrected. All right. We're limiting parking to pickups.
Anything else?
Nope, that's pretty much it. Those were my concerns right there, you know.
So, Bill, this is the second review letter. This will be incorporated into the order of conditions if we had voted on this tonight.
The second review letter is incorporated into these conditions.
I guess I don't have the full order of condition. I just have the second review letter. I don't have the full order of conditions. I just have the second review letter.
Have the waivers as conditions, and then special
There it is.
permit.
There it is.
I'm sorry. It is. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Sorry.
So you're still going to have the existing entrance also on the other side?
Yeah.
All right. Do I hear a motion to accept the order of conditions for this site plan going forward?
We're okay with the fence?
I'm okay with the fence. I'm okay with the fence. I'm okay with, if you want to, we want to add in the request to designate that area for pickups only, we can have them add that in as an additional line on that.
Are you guys I mean, you don't have a, I just feel that it'd be probably safer for you too, you know?
So that'll become the 9th special condition.
So, yeah, I can, obviously, we can do that tonight. So what would that condition, is that for this retail materials area?
No, it's for the area, it says existing gravel area. It's on the other site, so if you look at the plan, keep going, right there, you see where it says beyond the rounded area, it says existing gravel area?
To your left.
So keep going to your left.
Oh,
Right there, right there. That
That's the area that he's talking about, to make that a pickup-only parking area.
Pick up and small.
Pickup,
Small,
yes,
yeah.
pickup is smaller.
Right.
give me a second to write it.
So, you just have these 8 special conditions, and then just be the 9th.
Right, I wrote it in on my cop, yeah.
So it would say the existing gravel area adjacent,
Jason, to the walkway.
To the new area.
Jason, to the new walkway.
adjacent to the new walkway at 198 Washington Street shall be signed,
Pickup trucks and
I'm
small.
trying to, shall be signed pickup,
Trucks and smaller
Pickup
only.
truck or smaller. Parking.
Pickups and
parking-
cars only.
Yeah.
Pickups and cars only.
Once the
Okay.
state's done with it, there's not much space anyway.
Excuse me?
Once
Yeah.
the state's done with that, there won't be any spaces there anyway.
How many feet are they coming on?
15,
15, 20 feet.
yeah.
Yeah, those new sidewalks.
I mean, I'll
are crazy.
finally get a nice bike lane going through there?
They need 10 feet of the front deck on that building,
Wow.
all that display area that is
okay.
there now.
Are they doing a land taking from you? Are they really?
Okay, I can draft that.
Okay. So can I have a motion to the effect that we'll accept these with that additional special condition?
Motion to accept.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. You will get that typed up, we'll sign it. You guys can work out the logistics of how to get it, and you're on your way.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Well, this is going to be a quick meeting, huh? A couple of minutes to go over.
All right. Go to general business.
Mr. Chairman, you have the meeting minutes of January 26, 2023, and the meeting minutes for April 13th were emailed and have been revised per some board. So in your packet, you have the January 26th meeting minutes and the April 13th meeting minutes.
Can I just noticed something? So on the site plan approval,
That's already been changed. It doesn't say fire station anymore.
that was, I kept on looking at this, saying, what are we doing with this thing? Okay.
Attorney Crimmins called me, both of them this afternoon, and I made that one change where it says site plan approval for, obviously I used the fire station as a template.
Yeah, because for everything, okay,
But it's been changed.
thank you. So, has everybody had a chance to review the planning board meetings from first January 26th?
I have.
How would you like to handle those? Can I have a motion to approve?
So made.
All in favor?
Aye.
Draft number 3, Karen, you slipping.
I drafted them, she drafted, I made a change, and then some planning board members did.
Okay.
You-
I have to keep it straight, like, because when you make the change.
Correct.
You don't know who has the last version, or
Right.
looking at changing one when we're on 3.
Right. It's a system that she works, that she has set up, that I, as the new person here, will follow.
Well, it's just to make changes.
I know. Yes, it keeps everything in track.
Okay. Sure, all right. Any comments on these meeting minutes?
Nope.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're good.
Do you approve the January, both of them?
We approved, it was 2 different votes. I approved January 6th,
Okay.
and I approved April 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. And also, Mr. Terry has some information based upon a previous meeting, so bring that up at this point.
You all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Several meetings ago, I brought up the concern that one town member has put a petition to the state legislature to change the current CPA rules that we are governed under. And the administrative person for the CPC, Barry Kessler, suggested that each of the boards, including the CPC, write a letter concerning that. We as a board voted to send a letter of concern that we are opposed to any changes to the CPA rules that govern the CPA. So, I have a copy of the letter from the CPC, signed by the chair, Mark Zemanian. It's a page and a half. I took it for our purposes and revised it and diminished it to just under a page. So I'm going to pass it out to both copies to you and let the board decide which version we want to use. I recommend using the short version. So if you read the long version, you'll have pretty much what's in the short version. That I hope Mr. Chair Kelly will accept, and this board will accept. Barry Kessler has asked us to submit this to him by May 1, so he can forward it on as a package to our state representative. Yeah, okay.
I've reviewed both. I have no problem using the shorter version of that.
Short version?
Shorter version, I'm fine with. Anybody on the board have any objections to that? Okay.
Just as a reminder, we voted
That's
unanimously.
what I'm saying, we already voted for this to
Unanimously
be
to
gone, so I will sign this, and you can have it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, sign it, and I'll scan it and send it off to Barry.
Paul, can I use your pen?
Mr. Terry, if you,
You're not signing for that, I'm anti-CPA.
Would you like to use this pen?
Sure, I'll get the patriotic pen. Oh. Wow, wow.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll copy the board and the town planner.
Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up to this evening?
I would just say, in the future, if you'd like, you can email the version to me. I can place it on the letterhead and get it placed on a letterhead that we use for the planning board.
I apologize for that.
Oh, no, I'm just,
I was remiss in getting it done, and I had to scramble to get this
Yeah.
done.
so,
No.
but I can offer that as a service.
And I will do
as
that in the
as a
future.
staff for you.
Thank you. Want to pass that signed copy down, please?
He wants to tear it up.
No, it's not so much that, the way that's worded is any, you know, my thing was, Roberta wanted to do something, and she's basically not being allowed to do it. That's what I have a problem with.
Well, she is, I think she is being allowed to do it. She's gone before the representative. She's said to the representative, they're going to bring it before the state. We
Right.
just,
She brought it to town meeting before. Town meeting voted it down, of course. But I was a town meeting rep when the CPA went through. The first time it was brought up, the town voted against it. Then it was brought up again on an off-year election when 7 people showed up to vote, and it got brought in. You know what I mean? That's what I have issue with. You know what I mean? If it's brought up on an election year, that's another story when you have a good turnout, you know? And so,
But I think it went-
and
I
the
could be
matching
wrong.
funds back then was supposed to be between 85 and 100%, and it's never even gone above 50, and I think it's in the 30s now.
but Paul, I think you're right about town meeting, it was an off year, but there was a special town election for the town that voted for the CPA when we did. I remember voting for that, and I know that it was on a ballot question with the town.
Right. The first time it went around, though, was on an election year, I believe.
But that
and
went before town meeting on election year. What happens is then the following year, it had to go before the town. So you had to go before town meeting, get approved or not approved, and then it went before the town. So I think the town meeting rejected it, then the town required. I think if I remember correctly, the way it went. I could be wrong.
Right, town meeting did reject it. Then it was brought up again, and when it did go to a vote, it was on an off year that, you know,
So do I have to recuse myself from the town meeting for voting for it?
I have a motion to close the meeting, please.
so made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Right. No, I'm
What?
off. I'm off to the town meeting.
See?
Oh,